Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I want to talk about the Daleks, specifically related to Series 7 of Doctor Who, which as of the time of this recording is actually currently filming. And we just had some spoilery images that debuted last night, and they're pretty much all over, the internet, wherever you can find information about Doctor Who. They are covering it, and there is speculation about it. That's very exciting to me. I'm not going to be covering every last little bit of detail, as the series continues to film that trickles out, whether it be rumors, speculation, casting news. I'm just going with the stuff that, piques my personal interest. And I'm a huge fan of the Daleks, so I wanted to talk about this. Basically, what we have is we know that they are going to be appearing in one episode at least in Series 7, and there has been some speculation about that. I would speculate further that perchance we may actually see them in multiple episodes, or stretching between episodes from Series 7 to Series 8, and possibly building up to the 50th anniversary. This because when the newly casted companion for Doctor Who, the actress Jenna Louise Coleman, was interviewed, her first BBC official interview, she did mention that she speculated she may run into the Daleks at some point. So I would, judge that, this is something given to her, some insight given to her by Stephen Moffat. Maybe they were discussing it, or it could just be her own speculation. But so take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, I think it's potentially likely that we'll see them multiple times, not just this once. But at least we do know that they will be in one episode in Series 7 so far. And these images, specifically related to that, give us some very intriguing ideas in that we may be seeing multiple types of Daleks. Now, this won't just be relating to the, new paradigm Daleks, the sort of Skittles-esque or Power Rangers-esque multicolored Daleks, which I actually really did like. I like the colorful aesthetic. I thought they were pretty cool. And I think they are deserved of at least the distinction of being the first set of Daleks to actually kind of best the Doctor in a long time in Victory of the Daleks from Series 5. But, I think that earns them a little bit of, leeway as far as coming back and seeing where they go. But this does, give us an idea that we may be seeing older series Daleks, and I don't know if that is limited to the Eccleston, Tennant, 9th, and 10th Doctor era. We have, gold Daleks from that time period, as well as if we look at the Cult of Skaro with the Daleks Khan and their leader, Dalek Sek. Dalek Sek was an all black, like a sort of shiny black Dalek. So we have an image that kind of sort of harkens to the Dalek Sek type. And what basically this, because we don't know if it actually is going to encompass even further back in time, the older Doctor Who series Daleks, there has been some speculation that it will, and that we may be seeing a sort of Dalek civil war because of the new paradigm versus the gold Daleks of the, 9th and 10th Doctor era. And I think this is an interesting concept to have a Dalek civil war. But I don't think, I don't want to lend too much credence to that idea, because it is something we've seen before. If, we hearken back to the era of the 6th Doctor with, I think it was Revelation of the Daleks. Basically the 6th Doctor runs into Davros. First he's just Davros's head, and you have these white and gold Daleks, and then you have the more traditional gray and black spotted Daleks, or whatever you want to call it. And they were basically two factions of Daleks. Davros was the creator of the original Daleks, was creating a new breed because his original creation didn't see him as a valid leader anymore, And this is a theme that has continued on even when Davros returned to face off against the 10th Doctor. He still had Daleks, commanding him. And so he tried to create a whole new breed of them that would stand toe-to-toe with his original creations and so on and so forth. And I don't really want to, I'm not going to say that there's no chance of that happening, but I think because, we Whovians are an imaginative lot, and we have a lot of theories and ideas that we come up with, I want to at least venture to say I don't think it's that likely. Because if we look at like when Series 6 was filming, and even going back to Series 5, we had a lot of spoilery info that was leaking out and everything like that. And we all formulated these grandiose ideas, almost none of which paid off. I mean, if we looked at the percentages of things that we predicted correctly, it was a lot less than what actually unfolded in the series. And so we kind of jump the gun whenever we see, new images and new spoilery hints. And these particular images, which you'll be seeing on the screen as I'm talking, are very close cropped, almost, indistinct images. We know that they are Dalek pieces and stuff like that, but that's about all we have to go on. We do see some colorization in a couple of them, and most specifically I note that in one of the images is actually a broken sort of plunger, one of the appendages that the Daleks are known for. And taking this into consideration with the little clip that we have at the end of the teaser trailer that came out, with the sort of Dalek eye stalk coming up out of the snow, that does not seem to me to be a typical Dalek thing. Now, I'm not saying they can't reinvent the wheel with the Daleks, they can't do something new, but judging by the evidence we have so far, my working theory is that we're not going to get anything that relates to a sort of Dalek civil war, nothing grandiose. I don't know that this would potentially hint toward a Time War story, but it could, play into it with my working theory. But basically, my aspect is this is not so much going to be a Civil War thing as it will be a graveyard of the Daleks. That is to say, I think what we may be, witnessing here is an episode where, much like The Doctor's Wife, where the Doctor saw the TARDIS graveyard, that was basically all strewn across the top side of House, this sort of living asteroid or whatever, this living consciousness. I think we may have, because we've seen Daleks in the old series of Doctor Who using time corridors and things like that. And so let's say they, want to punish some of their kind, or they want to send some of the Daleks who have gone mad through time. Basically their waste receptacle, if you will, is a time corridor. And so from all different aspects in Dalek history, they send their wretched refuse down this time corridor, and it all, plops out in the same time and place. And I just wonder if the Doctor, the 11th Doctor, is actually going to stumble onto this sort of Dalek graveyard and find a bunch of these old-style Daleks who, for lack of a better term, may be just trying to survive. And, that could lead up to a new paradigm showing up as well. Who really knows? I mean, maybe this is something related to the new paradigm. Maybe they are, conducting further experiments to perfect the, Dalek gene. We've seen this as a recurring theme as well. So I'm just throwing it out there that I don't think these images are everything people think they are. And, of course, as I say, my working theory is that it could be a Dalek graveyard of sorts. That is, of course, if we consider that this even relates definitely to the Daleks. For all we know, it could be empty Dalek casings that have been manufactured towards someone else's purpose. We do have a cybernetic cowboy running around, and he's very much made up of a patchwork of sorts of technology, if you see the shots of him from the trailer. And I think this is very interesting that he has like sort of a glowing blue eye piece, and he's also got an arm weapon. I mean, when we first saw the blurry trailer, if you didn't really see that it was a humanoid, you might mistake those images for a Dalek. And I'm just thinking, with the way the eye stalk looked, it did kind of look a little sort of MacGyver patchwork-ish. And that could either be because, again, a Dalek that was killed or sent away was trying to survive and trying to keep its, casing running and doing patchwork on it. Or it could very well be what everyone supposes, that, it's just a new trick of the same old, Doctor Who adversary. So these are just a bunch of ideas that I have on this. And I'd love to hear from you guys what you think. Are you fans of the Daleks? Are you glad to see them returning? Were you as happy as a lot of Dalek fans, including myself, that in the victory of the Daleks, they were the first set of Daleks to actually best the Doctor for the first time in a long time? I mean, we've had conversations, and I say we as in the collective we of Whovians, along the lines of that the Daleks really kind of have become a joke a little bit. Why are they in the story? Why are they seen as a threat when the Doctor just beats them so easily, so repeatedly? And I at least got the sense, the very first hintings, that, with this new paradigm, we have a whole new ball game opening up. And I really hope that follows on. I really hope when the Daleks return to the series, whether it be in Series 7 for multiple occasions, or again in Series 8, or up to the 50th anniversary, whether that has to do with the Time War or not, I hope that whatever part the Daleks have to play, it will continue to be a legitimate threat against the Doctor. So, again, these are just a bunch of theories that I have floating around based on these images and the trailer, and the little hints that, as I'm accumulating them, what I'm formulating in mind. And so yeah, I'd love to hear from you what you guys think. And otherwise, that's going to be pretty much it for me. So leave some comments below. I welcome video responses as well. And always click that subscribe button if you want to hear more Doctor Who ruminations in the future. So otherwise, that'll be it for me, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.